So a few years ago, I was at a point in my life in which I was really unhappy and dissatisfied with the path that I was on, right? At that point in my life, I thought that I wanted to be a doctor, right? And I was in school for I think about 2 or 3 years, um, getting my AA in biology or pre-med or whatever you want to call it, right? But I became increasingly unhappy with the path that I was on. At a certain point, and the more you begin to grow and know yourself, the more you can literally feel what is truly aligned and you can feel what is truly you, right? And so for most of my life, I thought that I wanted to be a doctor, right? But the more I began to grow into myself, the more I began to learn myself, I began to realize that it truly wasn't me, or that path was never truly for me, right? The idea of being a doctor, it more so appealed to my ego, right? Because if you think about it, a doctor is a profession that is held in really high regards, right? And not only that, but it pays quite well, right? So the idea of being a doctor, it appealed to my ego, but it didn't appeal to my soul, right? I didn't get this feeling, or this heartfelt feeling whenever I thought about being a doctor, right? Or it didn't light me up whenever I thought about myself in that profession, or in that field of study, right? It truly didn't light me up. And because of that, I became increasingly discontent with myself and with my life and with the path that I was on, right? But at that point, I just didn't want to quit school and do nothing, right? So in the moment, it was really my only option. My only option was to continue along my path, right? But even though I was continuing along the path, I was really unhappy. And I remember I sat down one day and I said, God, the divine, universe, source, whatever it is that you want to call it. I said, this path that I'm on, it isn't for me. Being a doctor isn't for me. Because what is for me will never bring me this persistent dissatisfaction and 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 sorrow, right? What is for me will light me up. What is for me will appeal to my soul. It will light a fire within me. So I know that this isn't for me. And at that moment, I made a sincere request, right? From the bottom of my from the bottom of my heart, I made a sincere request. And I said, and I asked, show me the path that is truly for me. Lead me to the path that is for me. Lead me to my purpose. Lead me to what I'm here for, right? That is the request that I made sincerely. And once I made that request, I let it go, right? And my letting go of it, it was just as sincere as my asking, right? I let it go sincerely. And not only did I let it go sincerely, I let it go with faith and trust. There was a deep conviction within me. At the moment, it was kind of subconscious, but there was a deep conviction within me that knew, notice what I'm saying, that knew that the path that was for me was going to be revealed, right? I didn't ask it from hope. I didn't wish for it. I had faith. And I was deeply convicted that whatever it is that you want to call it, right? Whatever name you want to give to it, God, the divine, whatever it is that you want to give to it, I knew that I was going to be led down the correct path. And what was aligned with me was going to find me and come to me, right? And funny enough, about a year or so after that request, I remember I was at work, right? And I was just walking. I didn't even have the idea or the thought of that request in my mind, right? I was just walking. And I was walking, as I was walking, there was this voice that spoke to me, clear as day, clear as ever, right? Right? You see how I'm speaking to you guys clear and you guys can hear me? A voice spoke to me and I could hear it. This wasn't, well, you could say it was probably my mind, but it was a voice that spoke to me. And the voice said to me, start a YouTube channel. Your purpose in life is to inspire people. Your purpose in life is to help people. Your purpose in life is to guide people. That is what your purpose in life is, right? That was the answer that I received about a year after my sincere request, right? And when the voice spoke to me, there was no doubt in my mind about it. I didn't second guess, right? I knew. I knew. And so I started to make YouTube videos. Um, you know, started to film. It was kind of difficult at first, very difficult at first. And once I began to publish my videos, I would get probably one view or two views here and there. But for the most part, most of my videos had zero views. And even to this day, I don't have a lot of views, right? But I'm grateful for the little engagement that I get, so on and so forth. But because I wasn't seeing a lot of views, I began to question my path, right? And I fell into a deep place of self-doubt, right? And doubting myself again, right? And I remember I went to my bed during that time and I had a dream. And in that dream, a certain amount of subscribers came into my view, right? And I remember in the dream, I was really happy, right? I was celebrating, right? In the dream, I was celebrating because I saw a certain amount of subscribers, right? And I woke up the next morning and I said, this is God, this is the divine telling me that I need to continue along my path. This is the divine telling me that it's not time to quit. And I shouldn't quit. I should keep going. Even if I get zero views, even if I get one view, I should still keep going because this is the path that was for me. At the moment or at the point in which I was ready to give up and fall into self doubt again, right? There was a force telling me to keep going, telling me to keep showing up, telling me to keep making my videos and keep putting them out. And don't worry about the the rewards. Don't worry about the views. Just keep going. And at that moment, or from those few experiences and so many other experiences, right? I began to realize that I am not alone, right? I am not left helpless. There is a force guiding me, and I'm being helped way more than I even realize. I was never alone, and I'm always being guided. I'm always being helped. That's what those experiences are those series of events taught me, right? It taught me to have faith, and it developed a knowing within me that no matter what, I'm being guided and I'm being helped, right? And a lot of you guys watching this, a lot of you feel isolated, a lot of you feel alone, a lot of you feel like you don't have a lot of help, right? But that is absolutely not true. You are always being helped because God, the divine, the creator, is always with you. So you are never left helpless and you are never alone. And at the moments in your life in which you feel the most alone, in the moments in your life in which you feel the most isolated, right? The most helpless, that is when you are being supported the most. And you have to go through life with the knowing, with the faith, with the trust that you are always being helped and you are always being guided. Whenever you fall down, God is there helping you to get back up. Whenever you lose your way, that is because the path that you are on, it was never for you or it wasn't for you anymore, right? Whenever people leave your life, it is because they were never meant to be in your life for any longer, right? So you are always being guided. You are always being helped. You are always being supported. But you have to go through life with the absolute knowing, the absolute faith, the absolute trust that you are never alone and you are always being guided. And even in the moments when you feel the most vulnerable, even in the moments when you feel the most alone, you are never truly alone because the divine is there with you. And the whole world is working in your favor. The whole world is conspiring in your favor, right? What I've learned from my few, or many, I shouldn't say a few, many experiences in my life is that the divine is always trying to speak to us, or always speaking to us, right? But quite often we're not open to receive the guidance that we're being given, right? Very often we're not open to receive the guidance we're being given. You might feel confused at certain points in your life, right? You might feel confused. And you might go on the television, you might open your phone, and you might see a word of encouragement, and you completely blow it off as just being luck or chance, right? When in that moment, that is the divine telling you to keep going, right? You might feel confused about the path that you're on, and there might be a sign that is telling you to pick up this book or watch this video, watch this podcast, right? Or sign up for this course. And because you lack faith, right? Or because you're not open to receive, you completely disregard it, right? You might feel down and someone might come with a word of encouragement, and somehow you think that's just by chance, but it's never by chance. I'm recognizing that there's no such thing as luck, and there's no such thing as an accident in this world, because all things work together for your good. All things work together for the good of every single one of us. And it's about your openness to receive. Are you truly open? Are your arms open? Is your mind open? Is your heart open? Are you open? Because if you're not open, how could you possibly receive? A lot of us are waiting for a sign, right? We're waiting for some guidance, right? And we expect the guidance that is gonna come to us is supposed to be this grand, extravagant thing, and it's not that. Sometimes it's the small things. Sometimes your guidance might come by the cover of a book that you happen to stumble across. Sometimes you might open your phone and you might see a video pop up on your timeline on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, right? Sometimes it might be a friend that might come and say something to you, right? The guidance that you receive is never going to, or for the most part I should say, isn't going to come in this big extravagant way. But you have to be open to everything. You have to be open to everything. Because if you're not open, how are you going to receive what the divine is trying to give to you? How are you going to receive the guidance that is being, you know, given to you? A lot of us go through life and we're so closed off. We're so closed off. And we mistake the lack of seeing guidance for the universe or God or the divine or whatever you want to call it, you know, not communicating with us, right? But we're always being communicated to. It's just about whether or not you are open to receive that communication. It's just about whether you're open to receive that guidance, right? That is truthfully it. That's it. Are you open? Are you willing to receive? Are you willing to act? Are you willing to take a chance? Are you willing to venture? Are you truthfully? You are never alone. You are never isolated. You are never left without help. You are always being guided and you are always being assisted. Not too long ago, I came from the gym, right? I came from the gym and the place was really dark. And usually, when I come from the gym, I, come out here and I film a video, right? And I said, it looks like I'm probably not going to film a video today, right? And then a voice spoke in my head, and the voice said, go film the video. Go film the video. The rain isn't going to fall until you film that video. And I took up my tripod, I took up my phone, took up my seat that I'm sitting on right here, and I went outside and looked at the sky. Sunny as ever. As sunny as ever. As sunny as ever. Because I know I'm always being helped and I'm always being guided. And when I'm spoken to, I listen. When I'm guided, I listen. I listen. So the one thing that I could say that will absolutely change your life if you truly, 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 truly take my word for it, or don't even take my word for it, I'm just giving it. The one thing that can and will completely change your life is if you go through life with the knowing with the trust, with the faith that you are never alone and that you are always being guided. And once you go through life with that trust, with that faith, once you even hold the thought that somehow something is assisting you or guiding you, that is when the whole world opens up to you. Or should I say, that's when you open up to the world because it was never truly closed to you. You were just closed off so you couldn't receive what God or the divine was trying to give to you all along. And that's when you begin to feel that closeness. That is when you begin to feel that love. That's when you begin to feel this level of peace and joy, right? Once you begin to approach life with the knowing that you are never alone and that you are always being helped. And right now in your life, you might feel helpless. You might feel isolated. You might feel alone. But you are not alone. Open your mind. Open your heart, right? Open them up and know that you are never truly alone and you are never truly left helpless. There's always a force that is looking out for you. There's always a force that is guiding you. But you have to be open and you have to have enough faith to receive what is always being given to you. And you can't be afraid to ask. If there's something you're confused about, ask. Just ask. Put it out there sincerely, right? If you don't believe in God, say universe, right? I'm feeling helpless. I'm feeling confused. Guide me. Show me where I'm supposed to go. Lead me to the path that is for me. I'm open to receive your guidance. You have to ask sincerely. And once you make that request sincerely, let it go. Let it go with the faith, with the trust that when it is time for you to know, the answers will come to you, right? And there is only so much that you can control. The moment you take certain burdens from your hands and place it in the hands of God, that is when you begin to find a lot more peace, a lot more joy, a lot more alignment in your life, right? The moment you remove or take the burden from your hand that is too heavy for you to carry, and you place the burden in the hands of God, in the hands of the divine, in the hands of the creator, in the hands of the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? The moment you take that burden out of your hand and place it in the hands of God, in the hands of the divine, that is when your life becomes more aligned, your life becomes more peaceful, and that is when the whole world opens up to you. So stop trying to carry everything alone. Stop trying to do it all. Stop trying to control everything. Surrender. Let it go. If it's too heavy for you, let it go. If you're confused, let it go. If you're unsure, let it go. There is only so much that you can control. There's only so much that you can do. And what is too heavy for your hands is never too heavy for the hands of the divine. I'm going to say that again. What is too heavy for your hands is never too heavy for the hands of the divine. Let certain things go. Let certain things go. And know that you are always being guided. You're always being helped, and you are never truly alone. Never. And at the moments in your life in which you feel the most alone, that is when you are being assisted the absolute most. The absolute most. Right? So if you made it this far, my people, it's a beautiful day, peaceful day. Um, Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, loving on yourselves, and taking the moment to truly enjoy and appreciate life. Because what good is living, what good is being here if every day you wake up miserable? And most of our misery, most of our suffering in life comes from trying to control comes from trying to control the uncontrollable, or trying to control things that were never meant to be controlled, and trying to carry what was always too heavy for our hands. That's where most of our suffering in life comes from, right? So take care of yourselves. Um, give yourselves a bit of love every day, like I always say. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace and blessings.